You know, I grew up in a country that I feel like was a different country when I was growing up than it is now. I grew up believing the Pledge of Allegiance, and the biggest part about that I believed in was that it represented our Constitution and our Bill of Rights, and that we were trying to move in the right direction for everybody to be equal. And I chose that side. I've been fighting my ass off to make that dream come alive. And I see my fellow Americans are not fighting for that same thing. And it pisses me off. It shakes me to the core. Liberty and justice for all. Where's the justice, America? That man killed another man. George Floyd, that cop that's supposed to be our protector, our savior in times of trouble, killed another man while two other officers watched because he wouldn't get into the back of the car. Why? Let's think about that for a minute. Do y'all know what it's like to not be able to have food? Do y'all know what we've been going through in this country? And nobody cares? Nobody bats an eyelash? I can only imagine. Because I'll tell you what, I've been going through some of those struggles. A lot of those struggles. But it's 10 times worse for someone of color in this country. And y'all don't even pay attention. 100 times worse. And then for him to die, for him, he forged a check to probably get food for his family. Think about that. He was out on the end of his leash. That's all he could try to do to try to get some food for his family. Now, I could be wrong. I don't know the guy personally. But I'd wager that seems about right. Because I know I'm about out of money. I didn't get unemployment like everybody else I was supposed to. So I get it. I have other resources that I know how to do if I need to. I was raised a different way than most other people. I know what to do in times of emergency because I listened and I read. And not everybody knows that. People have faith in a system that's busted, that don't work for them no more. And I'm tired of it, and I know everybody else is too. I believed in equality for the American people, and there is no equality. There's none at all. And it's sickening because we live in the richest country in the world. And decades ago, corporations sold out to China. They expatriated while their CEOs stayed here in luxury. That's not equality, man. That's not equality at all. Everybody wants to sit there and blame everybody else. Well, we can't blame people right now. At least not the ones that aren't at fault, per se. But I'll tell you, the folks that are privileged in this country need to stand up for other people. And I'm seeing more and more of us doing that. And that makes me proud to be an American. Makes me proud to be a human because I didn't have a whole lot of faith going into this. But I see I'm not the only one speaking up. And we all should. Because that's the only way that we're going to get justice. And I'm sorry to anybody that lost their lives in that fire in Minneapolis. But that needed to happen. And if it needs it, I hope it happens again. Because they need to start listening. The American people need to start listening. I'm all for peaceful. But you look at the inequality, at the white privilege in this country, from the protesters with the masks, the protesters with the guns, and then these people protesting for justice for George Floyd. And there is a massive, massive difference in police response. A brutal, brutal response. That's injustice. That's what our Constitution and Bill of Rights were written for. To protect people, all people, every one of us. And it's sick to think that I believed in a system that was broke from the start with. And I felt like we were making the right strides to go in the right direction. And it was still a long way off. But now the current administration, the government of America, has made sure we are thrown back 100 years at least in terms of equality, in terms of health care, in terms of all of it. Everything that we made strides for. And I have no doubt that all of this is going to get far worse because they're not going to listen. They're not going to do what's right. They're not going to take responsibility for unjust actions, and they're going to keep the hate going. And it's going to escalate because that's what happens. History teaches us that. When it gets to this point, history teaches us that it's probably not going to get any better. It might get better for a year or two, and then it's going to get bad again. We need to try to stop the cycle that history teaches us is there. But at the same time, we're past the point that peace may not be an option anymore. But whatever side equality is on, that's what side I'm on. Because that's what I believe in. I believe in love and compassion, but I'll tell you what, I will make this implorably clear. I will fight. I am not afraid to fight. I just don't think that we should have to resort to it anymore. Civilization, civilized, is where that word comes from. We aren't acting very civilized right now. But I'm not talking to the people rioting. I'm talking about the people in power, the people in government. They are being the most brutish and brutal people that I can possibly imagine. Never imagined I would see the level of misogynistic, bigoted fascism again in my life. Not that I actually saw it, but my granddad did. World War II, Mussolini, Hitler. There was a lot of things that I never thought that we'd allow happen again. But here it is. Here it is. It makes me sad. But anyways, I love you all. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for looking.